From the day I decided to become a teacher, my values and beliefs have started to develop my educational philosophy. As an educator, it is important to understand that my values and beliefs will have an impact on each of my students and the way in which they learn. My aim as a teacher is to provide my students with the necessary skills to be successful throughout life. This can be perfectly summed up by: give a man a fish and you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you'll feed him for a lifetime. If taught correctly, my students will possess the necessary skills to be successful throughout life. My aim is to provide a classroom that is safe, supportive, and creative, and eliminates mythical norms and stereotypes, whilst celebrating the diversities within the classroom. These plants are like the students within my classroom. Each plant strives under different conditions. Like children, each plant needs to be watered and nurtured in diverse ways so that they are able to grow to their full potential. It is important to understand that not all students learn the same way, as they are all heterogeneous learners. To gain further insight into my educational philosophy, let's take a look at my future classroom.
Education is a powerful tool in changing the world. I hope to one day have a classroom that is free from all stereotypes and mythical norms. I aim to teach my students through a balanced mixture of traditional and transformative texts that norms aren't normal. Once my students walk into my classroom, I want to provide an environment where they are able to forget their worries for the day and are free to be themselves. As an Australian teacher, I know and understand that the content we teach comes from the Australian curriculum. I feel that though this is very important, there is more to education than what is taught through subjects like math and science. The hidden curriculum is just as important as the Australian curriculum. The methods in which I choose to present the Australian curriculum creates meanings which are then interpreted by the students. To have a positive impact on my students' hidden curriculum, I aim to present my students with information through transformative texts, decorations, and art activities to subtly eliminate the creation of mythical norms and stereotypes amongst my students. From a young age, students are subjects to the meanings that we circulate. As educators, we need to be conscious of our circulated meanings, as they can negatively or positively affect our students and their learning. Through the meanings that we produce and the information that we teach, students are able to form their own values and beliefs. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. Through positive meanings and education, we enable our students to be productive and successful members of society. It is important to me that I create a positive environment to promote a positive sense of self for each of my students. Mahatma Gandhi stated, "Man often becomes what he believes himself to be. If I keep on saying to myself that I cannot do a certain thing, it is possible that I may end by really becoming incapable of doing it." As a pre-service teacher, it is my aim to strive to create a classroom where each of my students feel that they are capable of anything that they put their minds to. I believe that through education, we are able to encourage our students to transform and discover their own sense of self through learning and creativity. Paulo Freire stated, "Education either functions as an instrument which is used to facilitate integration into the logic of the present system and bring about conformity, or it becomes the practice of freedom, the means by which men and women deal critically and creatively with reality and discover how to participate in the transformation of their world." I believe that the latter is part of what really creates successful students, which in turn creates successful members of society.
I know that I will never teach two students the same. I feel that it is very important to build relationships with each of my students. This will allow me to have further understanding of my students' personal likes and interests. So then, I am able to create activities that are engaging and allow my students to create connections to real-life situations. I plan on incorporating multiple teaching methods to cater to each individual child. I believe that a very important aspect of learning is learning through play. To do this, I plan to draw on some of the aspects included in the Montessori method. This method, created by Maria Montessori, at its core, suggests that children learn better through play. Through this learning aspect of play, this enables students to form social bonds with peers, develop cognitive and fine motor skills, and ultimately allows the students to express themselves creatively. As a future educator, it is my goal to give my students every opportunity possible to be successful learners. As stated by Parker Palmer, good teaching cannot be reduced to technique. Good teaching comes from the identity and integrity of the teacher. With a mixture of my forming educational philosophy, positive attitude, and the techniques I will learn, I hope to one day be a successful educator. I aim to promote and celebrate the differences within the classroom, and every day I'm excited to have the opportunity to positively influence my students' lives to create a better future.